Hey guys, welcome back to another Super 6 predictions video. It's now round 45, which will feature 4 Premier League and 2 FA Cup quarter-final games. So before we move further on, let's have a look at the previous round summary. Wins for Arsenal, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid and Borussia Dortmund got me 8 points. Meanwhile, Porto failed to score, Barca bagged 3 while Dortmund scored twice. So in all fairness, a good round, again not entirely the best, but it's alright. A few quick talking points to summarise that round. Odegaard's goal, which made it 2-0, was disallowed by the ref as he saw a foul by Havertz, which wasn't one to be honest. Also, Porto defender Pepe, he played 120 minutes against Arsenal. He's now 41, which made him the first ever player over the age of 40 to play in the Champions League. That is insane longevity. Though there is a 57-year-old Japanese striker currently playing for a Portuguese second division club, which is insanely mad. But it goes to show that age is just a number. Also, massive fair play to Bournemouth. They produced a second half comeback masterclass from being 3-0 down to win 4-3. It goes to show that anything in life is possible, even if it's a big mountain to climb, and they achieved it. So the point is, never give up. And also, Jadon Sancho's 3rd-minute goal for Dortmund was exactly my golden goal prediction of 3 minutes. But yeah, other than that, let's move on to the first game. Both sides are looking for a win after recent setbacks. Burnley must be kicking themselves. They were 2-0 up at West Ham, then bottled their 2-goal lead to draw 2-2. They only have themselves to blame. They simply took their foot off the gas by sitting back to invite more pressure, and no surprise that outcome happened as it did. They did go 3 games in a row without scoring before netting twice at the London Stadium, which is pretty good. But as for Brentford, they did lose 2-1 away at Arsenal, which wasn't a bad result. They only had 2 chances, and I feel this is a winnable game for Brentford. They should be able to cause Burnley more problems, and with Mbeumo back from his ankle injury, that has given Brentford a boost. So I'm going to edge it 2-1 Brentford. Ah yes, the relegation 6-pointer. This is already the most interesting game of the round. Both sides have a lot to play for. Luton are only 1 place but 3 points away from Forest. So a win would get them level on points. However, their goal difference is off by 2. So they would have to win at least 3-0 to overtake Forest and to get out of relegation, while a Forest win would increase the gap by 6 points and drift them further away from relegation. So this is going to be very tense. I feel on paper Forest have more quality. However, that means nothing when Luton have more togetherness, fight, spirit, and that's what gets them over the line at times. So I'm going to make this a very entertaining 3-2 Luton win. Spurs are looking for another away win to get back into the top 4, but can Fulham stop them from doing so? Well, this is the thing. Spurs picked up a very good away win at Villa, while Fulham's home form lately has been pretty good, but to be honest, I don't see them getting anything. You look at Tottenham's forward line, they play with pace, and they break teams down by playing counter-attacking football. Which, on that aspect, I feel Fulham would struggle to cope with that. But yeah, I mean, listen, I need points, so I can't just be biased and say 1-0, 2-0 Fulham. No, I have to be real about my predictions, so I'm going to say 3-1 Spurs. Can Newcastle finally put an end to Man City's cup dominance? Well, here's the thing, because Newcastle's game against Blackburn went to extra time after drawing 1-1. However, Newcastle did progress through on penalties. Plus, they did also lose 3-2 against Chelsea in the league on Monday night. And they now come to the Etihad hoping to cause a massive cup set. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Anthony Gordon and Dan Burn both picked up injuries, which is not what Eddie Howe wants to be dealing with right now. Plus, Man City, they're far too good. However, Kevin De Bruyne is out with a groin injury, so he'll be gone for a little while. But yeah, going into this game, Man City are in really good form. But the way I see this as well, if Man City progress to the semi-final, which I think they will anyway, the FA Cup will be an extra distraction for them. So that way, Man City have more games to play, leading up to more injuries and fatigue, which would go in Arsenal's favour. So by saying that, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Man City win. Considering the circumstance both clubs are in right now, there is still a lot to play for, what makes this game quite interesting. West Ham are currently in a Conference League spot, and a win for them would decrease the gap to just 1 point away from Man United, while Aston Villa at this rate need to hope that Spurs lose against Fulham and they win to increase the gap by 5 points to cement their spot further in top 4. Both sides also picked up very comfortable wins last night in the Europa and Conference League, beating Freiburg 5-0 and Ajax 4-0, which is very convincing. But going into this game, if you look at the fact that West Ham drew at home against a side in relegation, I just feel if West Ham start the way they played against Burnley in the second half, but continue that for a full 90, they'll have a much better chance. But however, if they start slow again like they did, Villa will punish them. And if anything, they're up against a much better side who are more than capable of punishing them than what Burnley did. So I'm going to just stick with my instincts and go for a 2-1 Villa win. Personally, for me, this rivalry game is still bigger than the Manchester and Merseyside derbies. This is Man United's final chance to win silverware, and if they don't, their season's over. Whereas for Liverpool, they progressed to the Europa League quarter-final after comfortably beating Sparta Prague last night, and they're in course of a potential quadruple. They already won the Carabao Cup. They've got the FA Cup, Europa League and Premier League loading. So that's how insanely good Liverpool are. And I don't see any reason why Man United would not turn up for a game like this. They know what's at stake and they'll do everything possible to try and win this game. However, from, again, an Arsenal fan's perspective, and yes, I am being biased, if Liverpool progress, they'll have an extra distraction to focus on leading up towards the title race, again leading up to injuries and fatigue, which would go in Arsenal's favour. So in a way, I would actually like to see Liverpool progress. However, I think this is going to be a very good game at Old Trafford. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Plus, for it to go to extra time and Liverpool to win that, if not penalties. Oh yeah, this is also the final Super 6 round before the international break. Like, seriously, who's going to want to watch England friendlies against Belgium and Brazil while playing boring, sideways, backwards football most of the time? Like, I'd rather watch The Apprentice, where Lord Sugar sacks entrepreneurs on the spot, you're fired, the Grand Tour, and just other stuff in general. But anyway, those are my round 45 predictions locked in. Feel free to leave your scores in the comment section. Any likes and new subscribers is much appreciated. And more importantly, hope you're well and have a nice weekend.